15 signs that you are totally clueless about managing your money. Managing money is one of the things that schools forget to teach us, to be frank with you. But guess what? Your landlord, your bank, and your credit card companies definitely expect you to know what you are doing. So if your bank account is always one decision away from crisis, this video is for you. Here are 15 signs that you might be totally clueless about managing your money and how to fix them. So let's be real. Managing money is one of the things that everyone expects you to just know how to do, but nobody actually teaches you. And if you are making some of these mistakes, don't worry, you are not alone. Today we are breaking down 15 signs you might be totally clueless about money, and most importantly, how to fix them. So if you are tired of being broke or just mildly stressed every time you check your bank account, then keep watching. Number one is you live paycheck to paycheck like it's a subscription service. If your bank account is allergic to holding money for more than 2 weeks, you might have a problem, seriously. Living paycheck to paycheck isn't just stressful, it's a financial emergency waiting to happen. In Canada, a shocking 53% of people live this way, meaning one unexpected expense like a car repair or a surprise bill could throw everything into chaos. Every dollar is already spoken for before payday even arrives. It means you are not saving and you are just surviving. And let's be real, financial stability should not be a luxury. So if you find yourself in such a situation, how do you fix it? First, start with a zero-based budget. So you are controlling your money instead of it controlling you. Automate your savings if possible, so portions of your paycheck disappear into your savings account before you can even touch it. Even starting with $20 per paycheck is better than nothing. Number two, you have no emergency fund, aka your backup plan is hope and vibes. If your emergency fund is just your credit card, your financial strategy is basically, I hope nothing bad happens. An emergency fund is what stands between you and a financial disaster. In Canada, an unexpected $500 expense would send over 35% of people into debt. No savings means that when life happens, because it will, you are forced to borrow at high interest, making the situation even worse. This is how people end up trapped in credit card debts or even payday loan cycles. If you are in that situation, my advice is start small. Even if it's $10 a week, it will always add up. Open a high interest savings account. It can be with EQ Bank, Tangerine, or even Simple, so your money grows without temptation. And I will do well to leave some links in the description area. If you are interested in opening a bank account with any of these banks, you can use my referral code and possibly get some bonus. Aim for at least $1,000 to start, then work towards having about 3 to 6 months of expenses saved up in your emergency fund. Your future self will thank you for this. Having no emergency fund, you are just living on hope and vibes. Number three is you rely on payday loans like they are your personal ATM. Payday loans should come with a warning label for entertainment purpose only, because this is financial suicide. Payday loans are financial traps. No sugarcoating here. The average payday loan in Canada charges an insane 400% APR, meaning you owe way more than you are borrowing at that time. And the worst part, most payday loan users take out another loan just before they pay off the first one. You can just imagine, creating a never-ending cycle of debt. If you are relying on payday loans to make it through the month, there is a serious warning sign here, because you are in trouble. try as much as possible to fix this before it becomes a problem. And how do you go about doing that? First, break the cycle by looking into cheaper borrowing options like low interest line of credit or even a credit union loan. Second, fix the root problem by cutting unnecessary expenses and building that emergency fund we talked about. And if you are really stuck, see if you qualify for government assistance programs before taking out another payday loan. Number 4, you spend first and save whatever is left later, which is usually nothing. If your savings plan is I will save whatever is left at the end of the month, you already know how that story is going to end. Most people don't save because they don't plan for it. When you spend first and try to save last, there is never anything left because there is always something to spend money on. This is why most financially successful people flip the scripts. They save first and spend whatever is left. It is called paying yourself first, and this is a total game changer. If you find yourself in a situation where you are unable to save, how do you try to possibly fix this issue? First, my advice is automate your savings so that money moves into your savings account the second you get paid. A great trick will be to use a bank like possibly Goho or Westport Cash that will run up your purchases and automatically save the difference if for you saving is a problem. And most banking apps will give you the option to set up that automatic savings feature to be able to take money out of your checking into your savings account without you having to lift even a finger. Number 5, you have no budget, aka you have no clue where your money goes. If your monthly budget is just vibes and prayers, we have a problem. A budget isn't about restricting you, it's about giving your money a job. Without a budget, you will always feel broke. Not because you don't make enough, but because your money is living without a plan. The average Canadian spends more than they think on non-essentials like subscriptions, eating out, and random Amazon orders at 2 a.m. If you find yourself in such a problem, my advice is you can either try zero-based budgeting or even a 50-30-20 budgeting, or even just start writing down every expense for a month. If your bank account constantly surprises you, that is a sign that you need a budget. And with that budget, you will be able to give every single dollar that you have a job to do so you know where your money is going and not feel broke. Number 6, you always carry a credit card balance, aka you are paying to pay tax. If your credit card balance never actually hits zero, you are donating money to the bank every month. Only making the minimum payment on your credit card is the financial equivalent of running on a treadmill. You are moving, but you are not going anywhere. A $2,000 balance on your credit card at 20% interest can take 20 plus years to pay off if you only pay the minimum and cost you thousands of dollars in interest. This is something that the bank will never tell you. If you are in such a problem, my advice is if you are carrying a balance, transfer it to a low interest credit card, possibly with Tangerine or even Scotia Value Visa. You can use the avalanche method, that is, you pay off your high interest debt first, or even the snowball method where you try to pay off small debt first to build a momentum. That way you might be able to pay off all those credit card balances. And please stop using credit card for stuff you can't afford. Personally, my advice is only use that credit card if you know you are going to have money to pay the amount of one way or the other. No need to carry those stupid taxes because you are paying off minimum balance and carrying the balance every month. Number 7, you buy things just because they are on sale, aka impulse shopping is your weakness. If your motto is I saved $50 but you weren't planning to spend that $50, you didn't save, you actually spent. Sales are designed to make you spend more, not to save money. This is coming from somebody who has been practicing sales and marketing for over 15 years. Ever notice how everything is always on sale? That's because retailers manipulate your brain into thinking you are getting a deal. And I've seen some retailers sometimes announce a sale but actually not change the price in any way. The results, you blow your budget on stuff you didn't actually need because they've managed to now get you to spend on things that you actually did not need. If you are somebody who has this problem, my advice is use the 48-hour rule. It has worked for me and I know it will work for you. Wait 2 days before making non-essential purchases. If you still want it after 48 hours, then fine. But most of the time, you will forget about it within that 48-hour period because it was actually not something that you needed. Also, unsubscribe from all marketing emails. If you are somebody who is addicted to impulse buying, they are literally engineered to make you go broke because those emails, they will be able to track and see what you are shopping on, and they will target you with things that they know you might be interested in even though you don't need them. Number 8, you have no retirement plan because it feels too far away. If you think retirement planning is for the future you, just remember, future you is totally screwed if present you doesn't get it together. The earlier you start saving for retirement, the less you actually need to save. That's the secret. Thanks to compound interest, even small amounts can grow into 6 figures over time. But if you wait until your 40s or your 50s, you will need to save way more every month just to catch up so you can enjoy in your retirement. If you are in this problem, my advice is start contributing to your RRSP or your TFSA SAP. You can use robo-advisors like WorkSimple or even Questrade if you don't want to manage your investment yourself. Your future self will thank you for at least saving in your present self. So make sure you are planning for your retirement, whatever age you are now. Number 9, you keep overdrawing your bank account like it's a subscription service. If your bank account spends more time in negatives than your dating life, we need to talk. Overdraft protection is supposed to be a safety net, not your go-to financial plan. But when your account is in overdraft every month, paying bills with money you don't have, you are stuck in a cycle of paying banks for access to your own money. In Canada, overdraft fees can hit $45 per transaction, and some banks charge daily interest on top of that. Personally, I found myself in overdrafts in the past, and I can tell you this can end up accruing and compounding over time. It's basically the most expensive loan you can take without actually applying for one. The worst part, you are constantly in overdraft. It means your budget or lack of one is not working if you are finding yourself always overdrawing on your bank account. How do you fix this if you find yourself in this situation? First, ditch the banks that love charging fees. Switch to a no-fee bank like maybe a Neo Financial, EQ Bank, or even Tangerine. Secondly, set up an emergency buffer, even if it's $1,000, to prevent overdraft use. Finally, track your spending. with apps like Mint or even Coho, because overdrafting should not be your financial personality trait. As much as possible, try not to overdraw on your bank account so that you don't end up accruing those charges for those overdraft fees. Number 10, you never negotiate bills or shop around for better rates. If you are still paying full price for your internet and phone bill in 2025, congratulations, you are the provider's favorite customer. This is coming from somebody who has worked with a lot of service providers. Canadians are notorious for overpaying on cell phone plans, car insurance, and even mortgages, simply because they don't ask for a better deal. Companies expect you to stay silent. They raise your rates gradually, knowing most people won't even notice it. But the truth is, almost everything is negotiable. Yes, even your rent in some cases is negotiable. If you are a good tenant and you call your landlord and try to negotiate, there is a high chance that they might give you a discount or even freeze your rent for a couple of years. The difference between someone paying $60 a month for a phone plan and somebody paying $120 a month, one of them called and asked for a better deal. And it will shock you to know that you can have people in the same household who might have the same plan or service but might be paying different rates because they are different customer personalities, and the service provider might be offering each one of them different deals based on their behavior. So your best bet sometimes is to reach out and make sure you are getting a better deal. If you are in such a problem, my advice is call your service provider and ask about loyalty discounts. It works more often than you think. And in most cases, if you're able to reach the loyalty department, there is a high chance that you will get a deal because they know you are shopping around at that time. Use comparison tools like whistleout.ca for phone plans and even lowestinterest.ca for insurance services. And if your bank is still charging monthly fees for holding your money, it is time to switch banks, possibly. So always make sure you are negotiating your bill or shopping around for better rate. Number 11, you borrow money from family and friends, and it's becoming a habit. If your emergency fund is called, hey bro, can you support me? We need to talk. Borrowing money once in a while isn't the end of the world, but if you are constantly hitting up your family or friends for just a little loan, there is a sign of a deep financial issue. The problem isn't just that you are always short on cash, it's that you are not fixing the underlying problem, which is possibly overspending, lack of planning, or possibly more. Plus, borrowing money from loved ones can create awkward tension. And let's be honest, nobody wants to be that friend who never pays people back when they borrow. If you are in such a fix, my advice is instead of borrowing, start a mini emergency fund. Even if it's a $5 a week, automate your savings so you are not relying on others when things go south. And if you already owe family or friends money, make a plan to pay them back, because nothing ruins friendship faster than unpaid loans and a good knock test. I know this because I've been there. We all know people who have borrowed money and they can't even respond to your text if you are checking up on them because they feel you might end up asking for that money. Number 12, if you have no plan for your debts and it's just vibes and prayers, then you have a problem. If your debt strategy is just I will deal with it later, congratulations, you now have an expensive procrastination problem. Debt in Canada is a huge issue. The average Canadian owes about $1.80 for every dollar they spend, which means most people are living on borrowed money. The worst part, many just make minimum payments thinking they are handling it, Spoiler alert, they are not. Paying the bare minimum on a 5,000 credit card balance at 20% interest rates, you will be in debt for at least 25 plus years and pay back more than double what you actually borrowed. That's not a strategy, that's actually a trap. So how do you fix that? If you're already in such an issue, use possibly the avalanche method. That is, you pay off the high interest debt first, or even you can use the snowball method of paying off your small debt first for motivation. You can use free tools like the borrower's debt planner to map out a plan and stop using credit to fund your lifestyle. That's like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. We all know it's never going to work. It will only make it worse. So as much as possible, make sure you have a plan for your debts and don't live on vibes and prayers, because it never works. Number 13, you think investing is just for rich people. If you think investing is for millionaires, I have some shocking news. Rich people started investing when they were not rich. Investing isn't just for people in suits on Bay Streets. It's how anybody builds wealth over time. Yet many Canadians avoid it because they think it's too complicated or risky. The real risk: keeping all your money in a savings account while inflation eats away at it. Even investing $25 a month in an index fund can grow into thousands of dollars over time. If you are not investing, you are losing money without even realizing it. So if you are somebody who wants to at least start investing, first you can start by opening a TFSA, that's a tax-free savings account, or even an RSP, and start investing. Use a beginner-friendly platform like possibly Simple or Questrade, and if you still think it's too hard, start with a robo advisor. It's literally investing on autopilot, so you have no excuse not to start investing now. Number 14, you have no idea how much you will need to retire. If your retirement plan is "I will figure it out later," let me remind you, later sneaks up very fast. The Canadian pension plan, that's the CPP, is not enough to retire comfortably. Yet many people assume they will just make it work. Without proper savings, you could be looking at retirement full of stress and instant noodles. The truth, if you start saving early, even small amounts can grow massively thanks to compound interest. But if you wait, you will have to save way more later, or worse, work forever. If you want to at least get yourself in such a problem, if you're already in it and have some amount of retirement, my advice would be use a retirement calculator. I know Simple has one, so you can look at that one to try and figure out how much money you need to at least retire. Start contributing whatever you can to your RSP or your TFSA, and remember, future you is counting on present you not to mess this one up, so you cannot mess it up for your future you. Make sure you have an idea of how much you need to at least retire, so you can put together a plan for your retirement. Unless maybe you are thinking you are not going to make it, which I know most of us know, you are going to get old and make it to retirement. The last sign will be you avoid learning about money because it's too complicated. If your financial plan is "I'll figure it out someday," let me tell you, someday is today. Avoiding financial education keeps you stuck. Understanding money doesn't have to be hard, but ignoring it, that's a guarantee to stay broke. Whether it's credit score, taxes, or even investing, ignoring it, that's a guarantee way. Whether it's credit score, taxes, or investing, learning just a little can save you thousands in mistakes. Because I know people who manage to possibly save a lot because they decided to learn about their credit score, their taxes, or even investing. And just recently, I know somebody who saved thousands of dollars when she decided to go and buy a car because she decided to improve on her credit score, and that alone saved her a lot in interest rates, as a result saving her thousands of dollars. So learning about this can save you thousands of dollars in the long run. You have no excuse. And if you are interested in at least learning about money, you can read The Wealthy Baba, follow finance YouTubers. If you're already watching me, at least that might be a start. And check out free resources like the FCAC Financial Literary Tools. Knowledge is power, so get some, and that can save you a lot in the long run. You have no excuse not to learn about money in this generation because there's so much resources available to you. These are 15 signs that you are totally clueless about managing your money. If one way or the other you find yourself with any of these signs, my advice is put together a plan to try and get yourself out of it. If you got value out of this video, kindly hit the like button so YouTube will see value in this video and show it to other people. And feel free to share it with family and friends who you think will get value out of it. Until the next video, cheers.